All right, this is the Sizzlebk S220 step through commuter bike. It's one of these bikes that doesn't look like a moped, so kind of excited about this one. Okay, so this is what it looks like when you open the box. Well padded. Looks like a rack here. Bike tire. Oh, that rubber feels really soft. It's kind of an odd feeling tire. And here's the other tire. All right, let's get this thing unpacked. Okay, so inside the box is the user manual, and then we have the pedals in here. These are nice large platform pedals. This is a toolkit. It's got all the tools you need to put the thing together, and a quick release skewer for the front wheel. A little bag of extra spare parts, which are going to become important later on, actually. And here is the kickstand. The kickstand has an adjustable length, which is nice. And here is the charger. It's a 53 volt 4 amp charger since it's a 48 volt battery. And it has a rear derailleur guard, which I never put on the bikes. I don't ever bother to put those on. So this was a little different than most of the other bikes because the front fork is not installed. So you have to install the front fork. There's a lot of spacers and washers and little dust caps. And the user manual actually had it backwards. The dust, they told you to put the dust cap on the wrong way. But you can, if you've looked at bikes before, you can tell which way it's supposed to go. And then I had to actually redo it because the cable routing for the brakes ended up on the inside when I first did it, and I had to like redo it and put it on the outside so it doesn't rub on the wheel. Other than that, pretty straightforward. You just put in the kickstand, install the rear rack, put in the pedals, put in the seat, and then put in the front fender. Now, the thing about it is that the rear fender didn't have any thread locker on it, so that came apart on the first ride. Okay, this is it, all put together. Again, I really like this bike mainly because it's a bicycle. It's not a moped, and that's just kind of my personal preference on what it is. So this is a regular step-through frame. This is nice if you have limited hip mobility. You can just walk across here. So I prefer that now. And the people in my household prefer the step-through frame, so we got that. The downside of it is if you're standing over it and straddling it, it doesn't have a top bar to stabilize the bike, so you just kind of stabilize it with this. I dropped this bike a little bit and scuffed up the seat. It's got a rack, which is nice. Adjustable kickstand. These are nice wide platform pedals. They work well. And then these are hydraulic brakes with an adjuster knob here. It's got a left-sided thumb throttle. These are really nice brakes. They're very powerful, good modulation. You can stop the bike easily with one finger. It's got plastic fenders. These are really nice soft rubber tires. They have really good grip. And then huge rotors on these things, which is probably why they stop really well. These are really huge rotors. Going across here, standard crank set. And this is the standard Shimano 7-speed. The smallest cog is 14, which I think on most bikes is not small enough. I think the 11s would be better, and I'm going to switch out some of my bikes to the 11s. And this is a Shimano 20 shifter. Works fine, no problem with that. It's got bosses for a water bottle and for a front rack here. And then a grip shifter in the front here. All right, so overall, very comfortable. It's got quick release seats and a quick release front, which, yeah, I guess it's helpful if you like quick releases. I don't think that they're that useful on electric bikes because how often are you going to take off the front wheel? But they work fine. Lights work well. No problem with the lights. It's not extremely bright, but it's a pretty standard bike light, and it goes fast enough. It's enough illumination for you to go 20 miles per hour. All right, so overall, love the bike, handles well. What do I not like about the bike? This is what I don't like about the bike. I don't like this handlebar. It kind of bends back on both sides. I'd much rather have a straight handlebar. And the problem is it's not extremely comfortable when you're holding it. It puts a lot of pressure on the backside. And then this thumb throttle, when you try to activate it, your index finger hits this knob. If it was flat like this, it would be less of an issue. But because of this, you have to cant it a little bit, and it hits this knob. And so using this thumb throttle, it wears on the knuckle of your index finger because of this knob. Now you can consciously try to avoid it, but generally I end up hitting it. Now, the good thing is I almost never use this thumb throttle. But I think if they're going to have this, I would prefer a straight bar. And if you want a little riser here, that's fine, but make it straight. Don't make it cant back. And then, or have a twist, have a half twist throttle on this. Either one would have made this better. My personal preference would have been to make this a flat handlebar. And you can have a riser to make it a little bit more comfortable, but don't cant it back. That's mainly the thing I don't like about it. The paint job is really nice. See, there was some scuffing here, and it's because during shipment, I think there was a lot of jostling, and it went through the foam that was packaging it. That hit up against this. So there's some cosmetic damage from that, which is fine. It works great. Here's the charge port. It's just a regular barrel port, like that. And then this is to unlock the battery, and that's pretty much it. Let's take it for a ride. Okay, what can I say about this bike? I love the way it handles. It is a normal-ish looking bike. I mean, you can tell it's an e-bike, but it doesn't look like a moped. It feels like a bike. It handles like a bike. It is on the heavier side. It's about 50 pounds, 50 some pounds. But when you're riding it, it does not feel that heavy. Most of these moped style bikes and the bigger fat tire bikes, they feel very lumbering. They're not very agile. And you feel like you don't add any power to it when you pedal. This one feels like a regular bike, but just gives you a little extra boost. Now, the thing is, I think that the motor they put on it is fairly strong, but it's tuned in such a way that it doesn't give you very much power at takeoff. So it's never overwhelming, which is kind of nice actually, especially if you're new to e-bikes. It doesn't jolt you off the line, but it just steadily keeps pulling until it's full speed of, they say 23 miles per hour, but I'm going to say it's actually more like 22 miles per hour on a flat. This is slightly uphill, and you see it going 20 to 21 miles per hour. When it initially is set up, it's set at 20 miles per hour, which actually makes it go about 18 miles per hour. I asked them how to unlock it. You can unlock it two ways. One way is with an app. Now, I could not get the app to work. The Bluetooth to the controller, it like intermittently went in and out, and I just couldn't get the app to work. So I deleted it, and I asked them, is there a way to do it without the app? And there is a way to do it without the app. And what's funny is they sent me a video that I made about the TST Buddy on how to unlock that long time ago. And they sent that to me as the instructions for how to unlock it, which I thought was pretty funny that it was my own video that they sent back to me. But yeah, the ride is very comfortable. There's no rear shock, but the wheels are plenty compliant, and the front shock works well. I will say that if it were up to me, I would have some narrower tires. These are like 2.2 inch mountain bike tires, which I think is fine. But I mean, I would have preferred like a 1.5 or 1.75. I just like thinner tires because I mean, I'm not going to take this thing off road, and I don't think this is designed to go off road. This is basically an urban commuter bike, and I think they could save some weight by going with some smaller tires. But it does make the ride plush, which I think is nice for most people. So, you know, maybe I'm in the minority there. All right, so this is me going up a fairly steep hill, and I just wanted to see how well it'll do on throttle power. because the bike takes off so slowly, you feel like the motor is weak, but it's not. It's pulling like 15, 16 miles per hour up this fairly steep hill. So it does have plenty of power. It's just the way that the controller is programmed. It doesn't give you the power right off the bat. But again, it does continuously pull. And what I don't understand is why they didn't make it go up to 28 miles per hour. I think that would have been nice, because I think the motor probably has the power to do that. And it's a 48 volt system. So yeah, I think the battery can definitely give you the power to do that. But yeah, it tops out at 22 miles per hour on the flats. The one part that's nice about that is that with the gearing the way it is, you can pedal all the way up to the top speed of 22 miles per hour. So you never feel like you're ghost pedaling. It never spins out. You never run out of gears. So that's really nice. I think overall, as a commuter bike and a city bike, this is really nice and probably one of my favorite bikes that I've reviewed. And of course, that's just personal preference. It's personal preference that I like these kinds of bikes. If you like bigger fat tire bikes, they are more comfortable, they are more powerful, they are faster. I do like those too. I kept the full care one because that has the most speed and the most range. And so when I want to go someplace far, I take that. But day to day, I much prefer a bike that feels like a bike, and that's what I'm going with. So if you're looking for one that feels like a bike, I think this is a great choice. And so if you're interested, there is a link below and a coupon code for like $100 off that you can use. All right. So let me know if you have any questions about the bike. I'm happy to answer them in the comments. And thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.